have Linux, how to exfat a USB or SD card USB adapter, which would be the way to do this because the code in the terminal would be for an SD card. So naturally, in order to format the SD card, if you have one, a micro SD, you would need a USB adapter to run this code. It works with a USB, or you could just use a USB adapter for your SD card. Anyways, let's get on with it. How to format a USB to an exfat in Linux. Enter all in the command line. Make sure you have a USB adapter for your micro SD card. Or if you just want to use an SD card. Or whatever. You know, a USB. Blah. Blah 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 blah. Here's some sources. I'll leave those in the description below. Unix men, how to format USB to exfat in Linux, and here's one from Ubuntu. Let's see here. Here's more. I already did my SD card, so I'm not gonna do this. I'll just leave this open for you all to see. Anyways, here it says exfat for Linux OS, or forks of the operating systems Ubuntu and Debian. It'll run on forks of the operating systems because I'm running a fork of Debian. The one I'm running is called Bunsen Labs. It's a Debian stretch fork, and it's made from Japan. It runs really nice. Maybe I can do a review on that too later, or down the road. I'm not sure what pronouns or whatever you all prefer. Here's the codes. I'll just read them out anyways. Sudo apt-repository ppa relan exfat. You could push that in to push the repository to get it going in the terminal. So here's what a terminal looks like in Linux. So if we were to say type in this code, I've already put them in, but I'll just do like a demo. We'll do the sudo su code first and type in your password. Then you got root access, so you can put in all these codes. But I don't know what your password is, so I'm not going to tell you mine. Anyways, I'll just hit clear so it looks nice and fresh there. So now you have all these codes you can type in with sudo su. And I added to install tree because obviously the new operating systems don't have tree in them. I don't know why they took that out. They want you to reinstall stuff that was already there in older Linuxes, like Ubuntu 16.04 had a lot of these. Ubuntu's not really, I think it's been horrible the last few updates. Yeah, they need to get out of Bionicle Beaver and fix the darn thing up. They're trying to revamp the whole system, and I'll save that for another topic. I'll do a rant on Ubuntu someday. I generally like Ubuntu, but you know, it's not something I would. It's for a new user. It's not really for someone who's in the middle, who knows the codes but's not an expert yet. I would suggest something like Debian or Puppy Linux or something like that, or Zorin OS, something to just get you off the ground, or light Linux. So anyways, here's the commands, and they're all there. And then it says, which I put here, these commands in the terminal are used for formatting large USB storage devices or USB SD cards. So, that's really just it. I mean, I'll probably just leave these up here, or I can put the commands in the description, probably what I'll do. Yeah, let's do that. Let's put the code in the description. Wouldn't that be more helpful? Then you can just copy and paste it in there with your mouse pad. Anyways, this might be outdated later. The code, I don't know if it will be. I have it written down there below in the description. Who knows? Because all these Linux codes change over time. I usually just keep that down there as a insurance policy for my videos, because who knows, someone's gonna come back in the comments and say it doesn't work anymore, and I'm gonna say, well, it's outdated code, there's nothing you can do about that. Anyways, you could search this on the code, how to root your exfat, on DuckDuckGo, Start Page, Sears, Yandex. At least those are the ones I prefer. And I put here, search on preferred search engine, because I don't know what you prefer. It could be anything. So don't get upset if you go to the wrong search engine. That was your decision, not mine. I'm just suggesting what I normally would use on a day-to-day basis. Anyways, for best results, I put use a VPN with Start Page, because Start Page is sort of a Google clone, and I suggested a VPN because it still tracks you. Technically it's not Google, but it'll still track you. Don't ask why. A lot of these search engines do that. Anyways, I put that for Windows and Linux. How to format exfat with Linux, and this is what the article shows up. I kind of had to blur it because of, you know, YouTube with all their copyright stuff. Then, you know, I don't want to get the magical X mark on my channel. Anyways, I showed you the code, I'll put it up again. Let me leave it here again for a few minutes. Trying to be helpful here as possible. If this code doesn't work, you could, you know, look it up yourself and try different codes. Not all of them are going to work for everyone anyways. This is just something that I've found and learned, and I thought I'd just share it on YouTube. Because Linux isn't really self-taught. You have to go out and do the research. If you have an internet connection, you know, go to like Ask Ubuntu, look on a web search, look up the code. You can't magically know it. No one's gonna know the code just out of thin air. It doesn't work like that. Unless you memorize it over and over again, you have to stare at it for so darn long. Like, when I first began Linux, I didn't know sudo. I didn't know what the hell that meant. That was 6 years ago. I didn't know what the heck that meant. At first, I didn't know it meant root. You have to physically go to these web pages and talk to people and kind of observe the forum pages and kind of analyze things, what the users are saying, what does what, this does this, that does that, because no one tells you. Anyways, I'm gonna close this now. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.